כביש מספר 6 לדרום עמוס מבאקה
המשבר בקואליציה?
חיטוט, אירובי, פילאטי.
I think we're online.
Join the movement. We are the underground.
What's up? I'm Shad. I'm Adrian, and we are Afterlight.
Hey, this is Ross from Dead on a Sunday.
This is Babsy.
Hey, this is Kuro, and you're listening to Under the Radar.
Your one-stop shop for electronic dance music at Met Media. I'm your host, Jeremy. Hello everybody, welcome back to Under the Radar. Hope you guys are all doing well this week. Today we have two very special guests with us. We have EDM's own Rico and Miella. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
This interview actually is coming at a pretty special time for both of you. Today you released a brand new song under a brand new alias. I think that's kind of what everybody is kind of here to talk about and find out the details. So I was wondering if, well, to start off with, can you just tell the listeners out there a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, so I'm Rico, and I'm here with Miella, and for the past 10 years we've been Rico and Miella, and we've made EDM from progressive house to melodic bass and crossover stuff, and we've had a really great time doing it. We've got to tour the country, release songs with Thomas Gold and Seven Lions, Trivecta, Midas, so many others. We've been on the radio, and we've found our way on MTV before, and so now we've decided after a long time that we were finally ready for a new chapter in our music career, and that's represented by this new alias.
All right, so, I mean, it has been 10 years since Rico and Miella kicked off. I know you posted that really, really touching video on your social medias. And your new project, it's called Years of War, and also congrats on the Subsidia release for your new track, Give Up My Own Name. What was the reason why you guys decided to make that big change?
Yeah. So that's the million-dollar question. Honestly, after a long time of being in the music industry and doing music professionally, from even before we started doing Rico and Miella, music had started something else in my life, and same for Miella, of just being this thing that you turn to when you had emotions that you needed to get out, when you needed space, when you needed to find your way. And that's an amazing part of music. And then there's this other part of music when you enter the music business that that side somehow, for some people, I'm sure not for everybody, starts to take the backseat, and the, trying to write a hit, or trying to work with this person, or trying to always find the next metric that we're looking for starts to become the forefront of everything. And as much as we loved all of the things we did as Rico and Miella, it felt like after a while we weren't making music for the right reasons anymore, maybe, if that's a way to explain it. And we started listening to too many pieces of advice from people. We stopped writing for the right reasons. I think we just didn't sit down and just write music because we felt that urge and need. It was always like, we're writing music to write the next song to come out, or we have to write it better so it can be on this level of label, or this artist would like it. And that had really kind of started to, I think, hurt both of us after a while. And the direction of just even the project and the music just didn't feel like home to us anymore. It didn't feel like we were making the kinds of things that we loved. And that's not to say that there's not songs even recently that we did love, because we did. But I think as we kept moving forward, we just thought, wow, I think that we need to reevaluate how we're doing this.
Right, and I think that also when you first get into music, when you're younger and you're just doing it because you love it, you write from a very different place, and then once you start trying to make it into a career and something that you could financially depend on, I think that you start to get in your head a little bit, and the pressures take away a little bit of that love when you feel like you're just working so hard, and it just feels like an uphill battle that you just are never going to win sometimes. So it starts to feel very heavy, but then, you get a release and then you feel great. And then you get a tour and then you get new fans, and it just keeps you wanting to continue to do that. So that's what we also we're starting to feel, and we just made a shift to get back to, the music from the heart.
Yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Do you think, I know this song has only been out for a day, but do you feel like this has been a good choice for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that from a personal level, 100%. I think that we had to say goodbye to what we were doing because it wasn't feeling right anymore, and that sort of like bleeds into your personal life. So I can say I feel happy that we have gone this direction and are doing this. However, from a professional standpoint, I think it's going to be hard to know. It's the music business and scene is just in such a different place than when we started Rico Miella, and there's so many more pressures, especially for new acts. But I do think that based on the response that we got from fans already, that it feels like the right choice, and it feels like even being able to work with Subsidia on this one, that it was a good decision.
That's good. But yeah, so you dropped your song Give Up My Own Name on Subsidia today, of the time of this recording. What's the backstory for that track? Because I think if people were to listen to it, it sounds very Rico and Miella-esque.
Yeah, I think so. I think a thing about that song that I can say is it feels like original Rico and Miella a lot more than it feels like anything that we've done in the past 7 years or something. And that's because I think early Rico and Miella, we were still just very much blazing and doing our own thing before we sort of felt like we got poisoned too much by the other stuff that I had already mentioned. So part of this new project is going back to our roots and being who we want to be, and the way that Rico and Miella had maybe initially started. So there's definitely some of that there. I think that the biggest changes are, one, what I didn't have the courage throughout our career, even in the beginning, is we're not really trying to write hits right now. Don't really care. There's a type of song that you can write right now, put it on TikTok, and you will do really well. And we're not really concerned with that anymore. And two, I think that we're gonna just lean a lot more into the darker and more introspective side of ourselves as songwriters, and the same for me as a producer. And just push some little boundaries with the little things that I like to do in producing, and as well as we do in lyric writing, that I think that in Rico and Miella we never had the courage to do because we were younger artists and still trying to figure things out. So I would say, though this song has themes and familiarity with Rico and Miella project, I think that it's just only because that was still us as people, and those little things would peek their way out. But now I think it's just 100% us.
Stripped of my wonder.
That's good, and I think it's pretty cool that you're going in with the mindset of not trying to write a hit, because I think that brings up a lot of extra pressure on yourself that you just don't need.
Yeah, totally. Don't need, don't want. And for us too, and I think Miella was agree as well, that it's something that both of us just don't enjoy. I mean, it's fun. Sometimes you write a hit, you write something catchy, and you're really proud of yourself. But it's a kind of music that we're not listening to most of the time, right?
Right. And I think that when people are so focused on writing hits, you lose a lot of the emotion and the heart that goes into writing songs. I mean, Rico and I were both songwriters that we started writing songs because we wanted to express how we were feeling about, certain things going on in our lives or experiences that we had. And I think a lot of the hits these days, it's just trying to write lyrics that people can sing along to.
Just a gimmick a lot of times.
It's very gimmicky, it's cheesy. I mean, not everyone. There are a lot of pop stars that are really phenomenal songwriters, but there's a lot of music out there that it just feels very cookie cutter and it just feels empty. And that's just not who we are. So we, people used to tell us to dumb down our lyrics. And when we started dumbing them down, we didn't feel connected to the songs that we were, chopping around. And it definitely showed in our work. I think when you remove that pressure to just write because you want to write and create something beautiful and meaningful, I think that's when the success starts to come as well.
I think that's all really good advice, and I really agree with you on all of that. So that's been established. You've been in the music scene. You've been doing this for a long time. Rico Miella has been going on for 10 years, and I could be wrong about this. Please feel free to correct me if I am. You were all doing music before then, if not together, then at least solo.
Yeah, I think both of us had been doing music from when we were children. I was playing piano, and Michelle started singing at a very young age, and that started. And then we both, I think in different ways, Michelle went to school for music. I had some bands I was in, and then I tried to do electronic music as a solo act first under my name. And then we had come together, in our mid-20s, and that's when our project started. But yeah, we both were doing music separately. I wouldn't say I did have some songs on my end that came out that got okay plays, but nothing as successful as Rico and Miella.
Right, and agreed. I was also doing acoustic singer songwriter, pop rock. My biggest influence back in the day when I was in college was a mixture between Paramore, Katy Perry, and Pink, but I also wanted to be Alanis Morissette as well, so I was kind of all over the place. And then when Rico and I got together, that's when we kind of both found our artistry, where we kind of fell into ourselves a little bit, and I think we started to feel less lost.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
That kind of brings me to my next question. If you could go back and relive one moment in your career, what would that be and why?
So honestly, I have to say that I don't need to actually go back really far. I feel this last tour has been amazing, and I would just live in that moment. I think that the show that we played in Minneapolis at Skyway, right?
We were a supporting act on the Midas tour in 2021.
And I think that was the first show on the tour where you and I were both just I feel good about walking on stage. The nerves, we got them out the night before, because we direct support the night before, and it was a really kind of a hometown show, close to hometown anyway, in Philly. And so then we flew to Minneapolis, and we were just both adrenaline pumping, ready to go, and it was
excited
the huge
too.
room, 2,500 cap, and
yeah, and of course Midas always sells out, so when we went on stage, right before him, the room was completely full, and also like walking off that stage, like there were people that knew us just from having songs with other artists that they were fans of, and they, you know, people were asking to take pictures with us, and
that was just a great
it was
show.
just an amazing experience there, and we've never been there before, so that was our first experience, and it was a really, really great one.
Yeah, I would say that was probably one of my favorite times during our career, even though that was very recent. It just was amazing.
Wait, so I have a different one though. I really, really loved our very first time going to Miami Music Week, because that was at the beginning when Rico and I were just starting to really work together, and then we got asked to perform on stage with Nicky Romero at the Protocol party, and we met all Protocol people. I mean, and then that whole weekend was just really fun with meeting DJs from all over the world and producers that we've talked to and worked with throughout the years, and they were there, so it was really cool to meet people in person. And that was also my first music festival that I've actually ever attended to, when we went to Ultra.
If calmer seas are waiting patiently, then why are we drowning in the height of the storm? We hold our breath together, I set on each other, don't let go, this won't take long. You gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. I want to breathe again, I want to breathe again. So you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. If calmer seas are waiting patiently, then why are we drowning in the height of the storm? We hold our breath together, I set on each other, don't let go, this won't take long. You gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. You gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. I want to breathe again, I want to breathe again. So you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go, you gotta let me go. Again.
Both of those sound absolutely amazing. Yeah. So, what would be the best piece of advice another musician gave you?
I think that the best piece of advice that I've gotten is, and it took a really long time to like get back to that, is to just stay true to yourself and do music for you. Because if you don't, like, you're not going to enjoy any success that you have from it. So it took us a long time to get there, to believe that and not, keep trying to like be in the hamster wheel or whatever. But I think that's the best advice, because if you're not enjoying what you're doing and like you're not enjoying just the journey of creating music and just playing music and performing, and you're waiting for the next big thing, like you're missing out on the most important part of it all.
Yeah, and I also think that a lot of even when I went to school, I mean, I was surrounded by musicians that was their life. Like, that's all they did. Every single person I met was like, this is not a sprint. It is a marathon. And the people that sprint and like break really fast, like they're the first ones to fall off. And I mean, Rico and I have been at this now for 10 years together, and we're like doing something new and still putting music out. Like, I think there's a lot of people that want to race to the top, but then once you're at the top, it's hard to stay up there too. So it is about longevity, and it is about continuing to grow and evolve, and just go wherever the music takes you, really.
This one is a bit different, but what are some of your favorite things to do outside of music?
Some of our favorite things to do outside of music. Well, definitely for me, like, I love riding bikes.
Me too.
But not like in a like
we ride bikes together.
We're not like super bike riders, like we're like super serious. We just like to like ride our like bikes around town.
Yeah, you won't see us wearing like the bike gear with like the skin tight shirts and shorts.
But you will see us just like riding bikes randomly around just for no reason. So that's like definitely one of our favorites.
We're not bike riders. We're kind of like cruisers.
Yeah.
We love going and doing things with our dog.
Oh yeah.
Too. We're like really big dog people, and it's just really fun, going for walks and exploring. And we're both really big water people too. I mean, like, if there's an opportunity to go on a boat or ride a jet ski, like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Be on
cool.
a beach. We love going out and exploring like different types of really cool restaurants and bars. We love speakeasies and trying new cocktails that are really like creative and interesting, not just drinking like a Bud Light or something.
Yeah, I also love movies, so
yeah.
I could definitely find a bunch of movies to watch and go to. Now since we just like moved, I have a friend, and him and I'll just go catch a different movie all the time in theaters, so that's fun.
Nice. What's the latest movie that you watched with him?
We just saw Past Lives, which was really good.
I came to that one and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was definitely more of like a love story, but it was like kind of sad, but also kind of happy at the same time.
Yeah, it was really good. And Asteroid City I saw. We're going to go see Oppenheimer and IMAX 70mm in Manhattan, which I'm really excited for. So
That's pretty cool. You brought up like alcohol and trying cocktails. As you saw on Twitter a few days ago, I asked if anyone had any questions, and this one came from On Mars, and it's, what do you think of Modelo?
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we actually
Wait, that's on our rider, actually. Yeah. Modelo's are like our go-to summer beer that's just
but
like
I feel like we always go for
Negro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best one. So yeah, we actually like them.
Modelo Negro is our favorite, honestly. Like if we're gonna like if someone was like, would you like a Corona or Modelo? Like I'm picking Modelo every day.
Yeah.
I think he'll be happy to hear about that. All right, and pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
I'm like not specifically opposed to it, but like I would never order it myself.
I feel the same exact way.
Right? Like
I love a little hint
make
of the pineapple and like fried rice or something like
cool.
that.
But for
on pizza,
I just don't know that I would order it, but I wouldn't like. I don't have like a visceral angry reaction. Like I could imagine taking a bite of it, but it's just like
it's not something that I think we would necessarily be like, wow, I need to have that again.
Yeah. Also, if there was
We're like savory people.
and we love pizza. Like It's just I don't think that really does make our pizza list ever.
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 So it's a no, I would say.
I lay here on the west side as constellations go by. All the things I had wished doesn't compare to this. You're the one that caught my eye. Stars like you, they don't fall for anyone. Would you fall for me? Would you fall for me? Would you fall? And could we ever be two stars that aren't Can we stay in the night sky? Can it be ours for all time? Oh, everything I had wished I'd give it all up for this. Just promise me you'll be mine. Stars like you, they don't fall for anyone. Would you fall for me? Would you fall for me? Would you fall? And could we ever be two stars that aren't
What do you hope to bring to people who listen to your music?
First and foremost, I think I want to bring myself into the music, and I want to just let my emotions be the most important part of it. And it's not just emotion. I think that music is more than that. But that's the number one. And then for the number two of like how I hope other people take it is, I think that there's universal emotions that we all feel, and sometimes we're feeling them for like vastly different reasons. So I hope that that translation of what I'm bringing to the song could translate to them and be used in a way that that is useful or makes them feel some type of way. And it could be vastly different. Even they can hear my emotion and it evokes something else. But I think that for both of us, if we can just bring out feelings for somebody or something that they can hear and be in a space with, whether, if you're going through a breakup or a hard time, or maybe you're just being introspective like we are in some of these songs, I think I would feel satisfied knowing that somebody took that from it. Because a lot of times as we're writing as songwriters, we're taking these like deeply personal things that's only happened to me and trying to universalize it to make sense for somebody else in their situation. So I would say that would be my one important thing that I would hope that fans can take from it.
I agree on all that. I feel the same way. I just want people to feel something when they listen to us, and like when you listen to a song and you get that feeling where it just hits you. Like, that's what I want people to feel when we're singing certain lyrics. Like, I want those lyrics to stick with them, and I want them to come and listen again or share it with somebody and be like, did you hear this song? Like, oh, I love this right now, you know?
Yeah, I always love being able to find that emotion in a track and connect with what the artist was trying to say with what in their lyrics and the melodies.
Totally. It's so important, and I think it really that connection is what we're striving for as artists, and it's not just in music, and I think it's what we hope that we're able to do for fans every time.
Both of you have worked with so many other acts over the years. You said it at the beginning, but like Seven Lions, K-Drew, Trivecta, Phoenix Paul, Newport. Those are all, I'm sure they have all different kinds of processes for how they make their music. So what does the collaboration process look like on your side and kind of differ from track to track?
Yeah, it's a good question. One of the things that I would say for the most part that we've been blessed with throughout our career and doing a lot of collaborations is most of our collaborators have trusted us a lot, and oftentimes it looks like us being hundreds or thousands of miles away from each other and just sitting down in the studio together, Michelle and I, or separately, and writing something and then coming back and them just liking it. Sometimes there's a lot of bouncing back and forth, but that for the most part has actually not been the case for the songs that have been released. Usually artists that we've worked with, I think like we're like-minded or something, and that's what's brought us together, and it's made most of our collaborations go very, very easy, honestly. And yeah, it just looks like a process of like writing a song and bringing both of us, as Michelle and I and the other artists, bringing the best that we can both bring to the table, and then there's this like little meeting in the middle and changing very little bit, but for the most part I'd say that stuff's actually gone really great.
It's always great to hear when a collaboration process goes smoothly, so just so much less headaches, right?
Yeah, totally.
And so both of you, but Miella especially, but both of you are, in your collaborations, are known for your singing. So do you have any singing tips for any aspiring singers out there?
I'm going to let Michelle take that. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing in singing is confidence, because, you know, if you don't have confidence, you can literally be the best singer in the world, but if you don't sing it with full confidence, it's just not gonna reach the listener. And I would much rather prefer, I don't know about everybody else out there, but if there's a singer that's really not the best singer I've ever heard, but they have like this epic stage presence, or when they're singing something, like you just feel what they're feeling in that moment when they're recording, I think it's 10 times more powerful than just someone that was born with a naturally really pretty sounding voice. Also, I think that when you're becoming a singer and you're developing your own sound, I think it's really important to play around and not just sing for what feels right. I mean, the way I sing as Miella is very different than if you would catch me at a karaoke singing like a Guns N' Roses song or like Paramore. You know, you can evolve and make your sound special if you just know how to work with what you got. And it's all about training and, consistency.
Yeah, I would say don't be afraid to get lessons. Anybody could learn to sing. You might not have maybe everybody's favorite tone, but it's a skill, and it's not something that you just have to be naturally gifted with.
Right.
So I would say don't be afraid to get lessons. Practice a lot. Record yourself so you can hear what you sound like. Those are things that really are helpful.
And have fun with it. I mean, singing is like the most... for me, it's the most fun thing to do, is just like go and perform, and even recording could be really fun. And I think if you love it, it'll just be a part of your life. And if it's something that you just like to do for fun on the side, that's really cool too.
That's Cool. So, like practice with lip syncing with music in the car. That's would you say that's a good way to get practice to get comfortable?
I think it's good to like practice with other things. It's like fun and it's just a good exercise. I think that some of the best ways to become a better singer though are to actually do singing workout kind of things. There's all these very silly exercises that sound very funny. So they're really useful. You can definitely learn them from a teacher. And if you're careful, you can find some on YouTube. There's always a lot of not the best information there, but that's really the number one way to get to be a better singer is to do a lot of actual singing exercises that you would learn from a teacher because they really help with staying in tune, getting better ear, having better range, and though singing other songs does help, this is probably the fastest way.
Right, and I also think it's important to record yourself because what you hear on the outside is definitely not what everybody else hears. Well, yeah, if what you hear in your own head, I mean, it comes out differently, and some people don't realize, like, they develop really bad habits, and when you listen back, you can definitely hold yourself accountable for some things that you're doing in your technique. Whether it's like breathing or how you're even singing some of the words. I mean, if you're singing them weird, you'll definitely find that out very fast if you're recording it.
I hear your voice, I hear it in the howling of the wolves in your eyes. I catch them in the color of the night. Your smoke from fire rolling through the place. But I think I see your face. Oh, the real horror of hate. Oh, is letting you go. But if I fall in love with the open road, count my blessings in the hope I'll live and die in the horizon line and find I'll fall in love with the open road. Forget your body, sell my soul. That's where I'm going, even God won't know. A million miles in between me and what's behind, but in the dark, dancing in the passing lights, cause your shape in shadow, calling from the rain. Please stay, no, don't go, and don't you forget my face, no. The real horror of hate, oh, is letting you go. But if I fall in love with the open road, count my blessings in the hope I'll live and die in the horizon line and find I'll fall in love with the open road. Forget your body, sell my soul. That's where I'm going, even God won't know. If I fall in love with the open road, count my blessings in the hope I'll live and die in the horizon line and find I'll fall in love with the open road. Forget your body, sell my soul. 'Cause where I'm going, even God won't know.
Oh, I'm sure about that. Yeah, those are all really great tips. And, well, now I have a good start if I ever want to learn singing. So thank you. So you've done a lot of collaborations over the years, but are there any dream collaborations that you still have that you want to do?
Yeah, you want to know the funny thing
put out, like, our
is,
music and have people like
I think that we've done so many collaborations over the years that at the moment, like, I'm just most excited to just put out our music and not have other feedback.
And also,
and no, that's not to say that we don't want to or don't like it. There's a few things, people that would like bounce around my head who are like, obviously, like, it would be absolute dreams to work with. But yeah, I think like if the idea right now for me is the most exciting thing is just putting out our music on our own terms. So that's kind of like a full 180 on that question.
I would like to do, I mean, like exactly what I just said, like nothing's like really coming to mind and sticking out, but if I had to think about it, like if like David Guetta or like Tiesto or like Diplo, any of like the like the A-list people,
that's who you would work with?
I would be like, yeah, baby, let's do it. Just, I want to say just one line. It'll be the most ridiculous thing. I don't even need to sing on it. I just want to be like, that's me.
I see. I thought you would say like Fred again or something. You listen to...
Yes, 100%.
See, she just wasn't thinking.
I'm just saying that like, for us, we're not really focusing on collabs, but like, oh my God. I would do anything to sing on Fred again's songs.
I think like if you know you're pulling teeth, I would say like, but these are like weird and they're not the kind of things that I think that would be what we would be singing on. Like I would definitely want to do something with Space Laces. I think that would be amazing. I also think doing something with like Virtual Riot would be the coolest too.
Yeah, there's so many people that we really admire, but like I don't always know like if we're the right artists for them, which is cool.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's fine. Like we can listen to all different kinds of genres and you know, we can wish to work with them, but if we're not like what they're looking for, that's fine too. But I also think when we're doing collabs, there's not all the time, but a lot of the times you don't really get recognized for the credit that you put in, and I think that's also why Rico and I just kind of want to do our own thing too, because you know people are singing along with our voices and our lyrics that we wrote, and yeah, a lot of the times you kind of just get like pushed aside, so it's kind of like disheartening sometimes when people like have no idea who they're even singing along to, and they connect with a song that we wrote, but they like wouldn't even know who we were. You know what I mean? So I think collabs also were something that we wanted to slightly get away from, just to get back to ourselves.
A child, only searching for your soul, waiting here for an angel to lift you up from your dark.
what is a little known random trivia fact that you know?
I think like just for some reason that the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth is burned in my brain. I don't know why I know that. That seems like a random thing.
I feel like a lot, like, that's not one of the most random things that you know.
I know, but I can't think of anything.
Rico is like one of those people that you could be like, wow, that's a really beautiful tree. And he'd be like, that tree.
Trees and plants are definitely not one thing I know.
I know, but
those
I'm
are definitely
saying,
not.
You know, like the most random things. You're like, you just have so much information up there.
So what's yours?
I don't know.
You have to have something. She's like right now just, you can see there's a meltdown. She can't figure one out.
Holding my face in my hands, dying. And we were like thinking, I definitely know some random things, but it would just have to come up in the most random
You're gonna leave,
time.
and then it's gonna be the best one ever.
Oh God, I really don't know at the moment. I'm sorry.
Furiously start Googling things.
If you could be any animal in the world, which one would you be and why?
Any animal. I would be a wolf. I think mostly because I like wolves. I like also would just want that one as a pet, but I would never want a pet wolf, or do I think anybody should have them as pets? But I just like, they're just like bigger dogs. So I think I would want to be that. I like the idea of like, you have a pack and you can just roam around. You look cool.
I had so many like things just run through my brain. I would want to be a dog because I feel like they have great lives, but then I think about it, I'm like, well, some dog owners really suck. And like, what if you just get a really bad owner and then you're just like held captive in a backyard in the snow and stuff? But then I was like, well, I kind of want to be a monkey because I love monkeys. But then I was like, wait, I actually really want to be a bird. That's what I want to be.
Any kind of bird in particular?
I really like the cute little like finches that we see around here. I don't even know if that's the type of bird that they are, but they're just like really cute. They hop around, they sing all day long, pretty noisy, and they just like fly really fast. So I'm sure that they could probably live a lot longer than like the slow birds that get attacked by hawks and stuff. You can tell I've thought about this before. And I've been waiting for you to come back, come back, come back, come back to me. And I've been waiting for you to get back, get back, get back to the love we had. Endless nights that I won't sleep, writing letters you never read. I keep hoping that you won't let me down. Waiting, I've been waiting, I've been waiting, I've been waiting. And I've been waiting for you to come back, come back, come back, come back to me. And I've been waiting for you to get back, get back, get back to the love we had. Haunted by these broken dreams, 1,000
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. So we're down to. I've got 2 more questions. So the first one is, where can people see you next? Do you have any plans for a tour or supporting someone on tour?
So I would say this. Yes. We do have some shows booked. I am not fully at liberty to say yet. Michelle's nodding her head, but our manager has no.
Oh.
But I would be comfortable enough to say this. There's one on another coast, the opposite from us, and then we have one on this coast.
That's not really on a coast.
Yeah, so that's interesting, but that's probably more confusing than you think it is.
So yes, we do have things lined up. We just can't talk about it at the moment, but it's like really, really exciting on our end. So we can't wait.
That's awesome. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed for a Colorado show. So.
Ooh, we've been there.
Yeah, we got to play Ogden. I hope we get to go back soon.
Yeah.
Something I can't explain, a feeling I can't convey. Caught my hand in a flame and I can't pull it away. If you're fire, then I'm gasoline. We burn bright, but you're killing me. But I can't say I don't wanna burn down this place. Ooh, is it better to love you or better to run from you? I don't really care. There's something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone, baby. Something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone, baby. You cover me like the sea. Some days I could barely breathe. I'd rather drown, I'd rather sink than let you drift away from me. If you're the sea, then I'm the shore. Break on me over and over, over and over, over and over. There's something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone, baby. Something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone. There's something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone, baby. Something about you, I can't live without you. I never could leave you alone,
Last question. Is there any last thing that you want to say to everyone out there listening?
Just keep your eye on us, and we promise we're going to be giving you the most honest version of ourselves. We're really excited about all of the music we've made for this new project, Years of War. We've spent the better part of a year writing a ton of music and making art and visuals to go with it that we love, and we have a vision that we just really truly believe in, and I'm very excited for y'all to see it. So yeah, just drop in, take a look, come say hi to us on social media or on Twitch. We always love to like meet fans, and especially at shows, like you'll find us in the crowd to hang out and meet. So
I wanted to add too, like Rico and I both feel so thankful that we've had people that we've been in touch with since day one, like since our very first single as Rico and Miella, way back when, 2015 it was. The like the official one.
No, it's 2013.
It was 2013, the official.
10
but we
years.
were working together prior to that, but just not as official as Rico Miella. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to so many people that, you know, have followed us this entire time and has always supported us on socials or coming to shows or just even reaching out and sending like the sweetest messages, because without having all of that, I think we probably would have quit a long time ago. And just having the support from fans and friends and family, it really makes this whole experience so much sweeter. And it just feels really good. And we're really thankful that everybody cared so much when they thought that Rico and Miella were like breaking up, although we were just, you know, shifting gears. It was very eye-opening to see how many people really cared and reflected on all the music we've put out throughout the years. So that's nice. So thanks.
Yeah, you guys are iconic. I mean, anyone who's heard your voice once knows just how good it is. So that's
Thank you.
So, and it was such a huge honor to have you here on Under the Radar on the show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day, especially on release day for your debut Years of War single, to just sit down and talk to me all about it. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having us again.
Yeah,
It was a
this was
pleasure getting
great.
to chat.
All right, well, thank you so much, and I will let you guys go, and yeah, stay safe out there, okay?
Alrighty,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you.